Peaches and cream, that absolutely delightful, ripe, sweet stone fruit, the richness of that delectable cream, a dash of sugar, summer evenings. What's not to love about it? Today, I'm going to start a little journey here attempting to capture that in a sourdough. So peaches and cream sourdough, here we go. So the flour that I'm using in this recipe is just unbleached all-purpose flour. I'm going with 500 grams of that. And the other ingredients I'll be mentioning when I go with the percentage, that is the baker's percentage, which is a percentage of this flour. So you can scale it for any size of recipe or for multiple loaves. So this means I'm taking the 500 grams here, multiplying it by the percentage I mentioned, and that will give you the exact amount. And I like to do that all by weight, and grams, honestly, is just the easiest way to go. So starting off here, for our liquid, we're going to go all dairy in this, and I'm starting off with 60%, so that's 300 grams then of whipping cream. That's 33% milk fat, which is a lot. Now, I had considered going just full whipping cream for this. However, I was worried that that might potentially reduce the oven spring or something like that. We'll see. So I am cutting it a bit here with 20% of 3.25% milk, just homogenized milk, so that will reduce that fat content a little bit. That gives me a total of 80% hydration because that's 400 grams of that cream and the milk combined. To that, I'm going to be adding some brown sugar. So this is just golden brown sugar. I'm going with 5%, or that's 25 grams. So you could use your favorite brown sugar. You could even use white sugar, I'm sure, in this, and it would be just fine. Also, if you're worried about the milk fat in this, I'm sure you could go with a lower percentage fat cream. You could also go straight milk. You could also go with something lactose free, and I'm sure it would be just fine. Now to that, I'm going to be adding my flour here, and I'm just going to use my hand here to mix it all together until we get sort of a shaggy dough. All right, so here's my dough. Now, because of that fat that's in here, this is honestly really kind of like a Play-Doh at this point. I'm just going to let this go through an autolyse. I'm going to leave it here for a little bit, and then we'll be ready to add our leaven. Well, I'm checking out my leaven here, which is beautiful and pillowy. You can check out my video on how I like to make that in the sourdough playlist in the channel. So now I'm going to be adding 25%, or in this case, that makes 125 grams of leaven to this dough. And perfect, there we go. So let's mix that in. I'm just moistening my fingers here with some filtered water here. And now I'm just going to use some little pinch and folds here to incorporate that leaven. It's funny, this dough is so stiff because of using that dairy base with all that cream and that milk fat in it, as opposed to using water. So it's going to take a little effort here just to make sure that we get this leaven incorporated. So after a couple of minutes, I've got the dough here and all of that leaven is incorporated. I'm just going to cover this back up with plastic and let it rest. Now, after 30 minutes, I've uncovered this here and I'm going to be adding my salt. So I'm going with 1.8% of, this is just a pink sea salt here. Any sort of non-iodized salt will work well. And that works out to 9 grams for this particular sourdough. Now I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of punch it into the dough a little bit here. And then again, using those same pinch and fold method, or using that same pinch and fold method, I'm just going to try to work it into the dough. So that'll probably take a minute or so. Now this wouldn't be peaches and cream sourdough without some peaches. My wife picked up some really nice peaches here from a farmer's market. So I'm just going to peel them and get some of the fruit out here. Here are the peaches. So that was 4 of those peaches, and I just diced it up here, and it actually wound up being just over 250 grams. So that's actually then 50% based on the baker's percentage. Now, let's deal with this dough. It's been 45 minutes since that last time that I touched it, and what I'm going to do now is a lamination, and we're going to see if we can get this stretched out as a bit of a mat. Just going to moisten my fingers here with more of that filtered water. Now, this is definitely a stiff dough. Next time I do this, I might be tempted to perhaps go with a little bit less cream, or perhaps, in addition to everything that I did, adding a little bit of water as well, or even just extra milk over top of that 10% that I put in. And if I do that, then perhaps this will be a little bit stretchier, but we're gonna make do with what we got. Okay, I actually got that a little bit better stretched out than I thought, so now let us get a little bit of this goodness in here. Now that I have this dough all stretched out like a mat, it's time to add both my little peach cubes as well as some cream cheese. This is peaches and cream. I want to get as much creaminess into here as possible. Now with the cream cheese there, I'm going with 125 grams or 25% of that baker's percentage there. So we're just going to go, and in this middle third, this is the trick with lamination, in the middle third, we can add some of these peaches, and we're going to add some of the cream cheese here right away. There we go. Now that we have that first third done, I'm just going to take this, fold it over like that. We're going to, again, just with some filtered water, moistened hands, just tap that down, try to work out some of the air pockets that might be in there because of that. And then repeat, just like that. And now we'll fold up over top there. Now we just go with the middle third of this. Fold over. As always, probably trying to add too many toppings here, or fillings. I'm just going to do my best to roll everything around itself. Oh, we lost a little bit of the peaches. That's okay. Okay, now we're going to get this back into the bowl and let it sit. So after that lamination, I just let this sit. Because I had the peaches and the cream cheese in here, I didn't want to try to go messing around with it and stretch and fold or anything like that. I just let it do its thing and rising here. So now it is time to get it out and do a little pre-shape. I'm just flouring my hand. I'm done with the moistening my hand move. We're just going to get this out, just like so. A little pre-shape. So this, I gave this about 5 hours after the lamination here just to ferment and do its thing. If you're trying to do something like this, it'll really depend on ambient temperature, how vigorous your starter is and your leaven was, and just how quickly it's actually fermenting. You want to get it to the point where it's nice and jiggly, just like this. And now I'm just going to let it sit for a few minutes here, and then we will do a final shaping. So after a few minutes there, this really hasn't lost much by way of shape. I did take a quick look at the underside of this, and that has a lot more peaches exposed. So rather than flipping this into my lined and rice floured banneton, I'm actually just going to scoop it like so and place it in here. That way when I go to bake tomorrow, those peaches will be up on the top rather than on the bottom. I just think it'll look a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to throw a little extra rice flour on the top here. Take a little plastic, get it over top, pop this in the fridge, and let it continue to ferment cold overnight. And it's the morning of the bake. I've got the oven preheated at 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and that has the cast iron in there. Look at how large this bread continued to get as it was cold fermenting in the refrigerator. And I should mention right now that also if you're interested in this recipe, the full recipe is listed in the video description if you missed any of it. Now, just using my pizza peel on this parchment, I'm going to try to gently flip this out here. Just a little more sprinkle here, some rice flour. I'm going to go with the simple scoring pattern because with the fruit and the cheese in there, oh, this is slicing through it really quite simply. Actually, no big deal. All right, let's get this into the cast iron. Just going to cover it up with a lid, reduce the temperature down to 440 degrees, and give it 35 minutes. Okay, let's get this lid off here after 35 minutes. Now I'm also just going to remove this from the cast iron, just because with the lactose that's in there, there's a chance that it might be inclined to burn. So just like I do with some of my more sugary breads, I'm going to leave it on the grate, just like that. Now I've got this, so I did lower the temperature down to 420 degrees. Once I remove that lid, I'm going to pop this out of the oven here. Nice, and let that cool down. So, we have had a couple hours for this to cool down here. We've got some excited people that want to try this out. Let's slice in. Just watch out, girls. take a look. Hey, there we go. Looks like looks like most of the goodness is near the bottom side. All right, sweet. Well, let's get a slice going here. All right, so taking a look at this, first of all, of note is the fact that the peaches, which were quite a bit larger, definitely shrunk as they cooked. I think a lot of that moisture just came out, went into the bread, which, by the way, is incredibly soft. I think that's soft and squishy. That's a combo of having the cream and the milk in there, and then also that extra moisture. So let's have a taste.
Kind of fluffy.
Fluffy. Mmm. What do you think? Go for the bite.
I like how you put the cream cheese in, and like the peaches.
Oh, the two essential ingredients there. Yep, absolutely. So eating that, you get the freshness of the peaches, you get the nice little dollops of cream cheese in there, which is super nice. Also, just the bread, like I said, it also tastes like super soft, delicate, squishy, right?
Easy to chew.
Yeah, that's a plus, especially when people have wiggly teeth. So this was a really fun experiment. I think next time I might play around with the peaches, perhaps the size of them, maybe even the quantity of them. So it's going to bear a little bit more playing around, but this was a pretty good start, hey? Cheers, girls. Oink, oink. Huh? And yeah, till next time, keep your peaches at 11.
Woohoo!